What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new Warzone 2 video. Today we're taking a look at the Warzone 2 meta, the rankings, everything, some best setups to be able to run here in Warzone 2. There's a lot of really cool stuff, so I think you guys are going to enjoy the video. If you guys do, give it a like, subscribe, notifications turned on, and let's hop into this. All right, so I want to start this off here real quick and actually take a look at our tier maker before we get into some of the different stats and everything, because we actually made our own version of what is absolute meta, top tier, competitive, average, below average, niche, and pretty much just straight out garbage. Of course, you guys can see down here on the very bottom what's absolute garbage: the riot shield, the knife, the Joker, the Strela, the Pila. I mean, you know, the Joker can sometimes be good depending on if you glitch it somehow, some way, but pretty much it's entirely garbage. The niche down here would be like M16, LMS, and then of course the below average Kastov 545, SO14, the M Mark II, the X12, and then up here in the average category, we of course have the FTAC Recon, the Lockwood 300 Expedite, Sakin, the 556 Icarus, the RAP H, the SPR 208, SAB 50, the TAC and the Signal 50, and the 50 GS, aka the Deagle. And then we have our tiers of the competitive, top tier, and absolute meta, so you can see all the different things we actually ranked within this that are actually really solid guns to be able to use. And this was our own personal take on my educated, you know, more or less guess before we had any of the rankings or what people actually were using. But now we have a brand new updated statistics website to be able to help us out here with that. So we're gonna go move over to that, and we're gonna be able to take a look at what people are for sure 110% using here in Warzone, and not just our own guesses. But this is a pretty cool tier. A lot of you guys out there did agree with me on it, on, you know, that this is a pretty accurate representation of what is usable and viable in Warzone 2. Now move over to this website here. This is Warzone Ranked, and this was very useful here for Warzone Caldera, Rebirth Island, so on and so forth. We still have to wait to get some more usage statistics here, just because the Warzone 2 API doesn't allow for a lot of data pulling, so they're doing their best here. But we can see pretty much what are some of the most ranked guns, the most effective guns to be able to use here in Warzone 2. And of course we have what we've ranked up in here. I'm pretty sure I pretty much got all of these in there, and so we have, you know, of course, the TAC 56, the Fennec 45, the Kastov 762, which I may have actually put a little bit below. Then we have the RPK in here, which is absolutely god tier, the P890, which you guys pretty much run those akimbo, and then of course you have the SPX-80. So I don't think I actually had the SPX-80 in there, but pretty much everything else we did. And then we have a large tier, so that's like absolute meta, and this is like top tier viable, more or less like top tier. So we have a whole bunch of different good guns in here: M4, STB 556, M13, Kastov 74, U-Lockman sub. So there's a lot of different guns in here that are actually very useful, very good, that you guys can be able to use. And that just leaves, you know, the Warzone 2 meta pretty open. But this is large in part, you know, based on statistics, what people are going to be saying is the best stuff to be able to use here in Warzone. And we kind of go down here to the pretty much the not applicable category, all the stuff that you should pretty much just stay away from. AKA like, you know, the 50, you know, gunshot, like the Deagle, LMS. I mean, there's pretty much all, like, some of the different stuff, you know, like some of the shotguns, some of the different snipers. The M16's absolute garbage, so we don't ever want to use that. The TAC M is definitely one of those things I would say probably did not actually use that much. I know the TAC V is actually pretty solid when you use, you know, the TAC 56, and then the TAC V I think is somewhere in here. It's right down here. I just kind of happened to, like, you know, go over that a little bit, but otherwise these are our weapons here so far that we can use. And I'll actually even show you guys, this is a pretty cool website here, so we can even just group stuff here by like ARs. If you specifically want to check that out, is the top two ARs, the TAC 56 and the Kastov 762, which I know a lot of you guys out there are going to be using these two right here, because I mean, AKA, you know, TAC 56, no recoil, 762 is incredibly hard hitting. It's like a better it's like a more AR version of the RPK, well, because technically speaking it is, at least in this game. But otherwise we'll go back to the all here, and I'll show you guys something. But I'll show you this real fast. So this is actually pretty neat here, that they do even have some of the best loadouts for you guys to be able to try on this, which is pretty neat. So you guys can see we have the Polar Fire S, the CAS-10 584mm barrel, the Cronin Mini Pro, the KSTV-RPK factory stock, and of course the rear grip, the Demo X2 grip. And then we also have, you know, some of the different tunings and everything on them and what you guys can do. It doesn't seem like they're actually as, like, well, numbered, so that's probably not the greatest thing, but you guys can kind of round it out and you know, be able to see exactly what to be able to use. And it's also pretty cool down here that they even have some YouTuber you know, setups here for some of the stuff. So Metaphor Joe K3, Wars, Capture, Mutex, and of course there's another Metaphor one down here. So some pretty different setups here that you guys can be able to take a look at. And of course there's all the different attachments and more of this, like the pick rate, KD ratio, hit rate, all this stuff will be fine-tuned here and unlocked more or less within about the next like 4 or 5 days or so. But otherwise, this is a really cool website, and we can be able to see exactly what some of the meta stuff is. And I'm pretty happy that we can actually be able to see this, considering we really haven't been able to beforehand. Before we get into some of the different setups here to show you guys some different, you know, guns and attachments, I want to be able to show you guys here some of the top setups for them, because I've recommended you some here within like my top 5 style videos. But I'll show you guys here some of them right now, so we can go take a look here at the TAC 56 real fast and see what this actually is all about. So we have the Harbinger D20 here, which is all the way maxed out on either side. We have the 17.5 Tundra Pro barrel all the way maxed out as well. The F-TAC Ripper 56 all the way maxed out on either side. And we have the 5.56 ammunition, the high velocity ammunition that you max out more or less for damage range. And of course then a 60 round mag. We don't have anything else for the optic, the stock, the rear grip, anything else like that. This is a pretty effective one, and this was actually used by Diaz Biffle, and you guys know if you've ever watched any of his videos that he's an absolute menace out there and in Warzone. Warzone 1, Warzone 2, I mean, the man is just kind of built different when it comes to playing these games. Now let's take a bit of a look here at the Fennec 45. I was actually kind of comparing this one a little bit to like what was I recommending for you guys to be able to use. And this one's a tad bit different, I feel like, than what I was actually even suggesting, but we'll get into it here real fast just to kind of give you guys a bit of a different setup to be able to use here on your Fennec 45. So we have the F-TAC 8.5 Recon barrel. There's actually no, sort of muzzle or anything else like that. We have the VX Pineapple underbarrel, the .45 auto overpressured rounds, the ammunition, and that's going to be, of course, these are all tuned a little bit, variably. They're not all maxed out like the TAC 56 was. And of course, then you have the Fennec 45 mag, which is actually pretty solid. And then we have the stock here, which is the Agile Assault 7 stock. So this is a very different setup than what I was recommending. I know there's a lot of different ones you guys can use, but I assume that as soon as, some of the more stats come out and we can see the pick ratios, pretty much the pick ratio is that, how often are people picking a specific build, what's their KD with the build, then we'll be able to really fine tune and see exactly what the #1 thing is. But these are a lot of what people are using here, and specifically by some of the other different, YouTuber loadouts. As you can see, some of them do happen to vary. People use a variety of different things because you can build a lot of these guns in a variety of different ways, and they'll still all be good. And the Fennec has got one of the fastest TTKs in the entire game, so it's definitely like, this is a really good gun to use kind of any which way. I'm gonna show you guys here one last one. This is a pretty cool SPX-80 build here, the metal loadout build. So we have the SPX-80. We of course have on the muzzle, we have the Nil Sound 90 muzzle. Of course, you guys can be able to see the tunings and everything there. Unfortunately, there's not numbers. I don't think they have that in here as of just yet, or maybe that's going to be an update. We have the ammunition, the .300 high velocity rounds, the laser of the FSSOLE-V laser, and then we have the stock along with the PVZ-890 TAC stock. You guys can see how that has been tuned there a little bit. I'll move my face cam just slightly out of the way. And then of course we have down the rear grip the Schlager match grip. So this is a pretty solid build right here, and there's a few different ones down here that people use, but mainly speaking, they all kind of go for something pretty similar. Some people mess with the bolt. Some people mess with the muzzle, other people don't. It's just kind of up to you guys what you want to be able to switch in and out. But otherwise, a lot of the stuff down here will be figured out pretty soon in terms you can see what is really popular and what are people actually using, because we definitely need to be able to see that. And it's also something pretty cool down here what they've added it onto the website, is that if you guys are trying to figure out like a specific attachment to be able to use to actually show you what you have to actually level up to what level in order to be able to unlock it. So this is a pretty cool little handy website here, warzonerank.com, wzrank.com, for you guys want to go check it out. But I just want to be able to kind of cover everything here and be able to see, what are we thinking, what is the actual meta, and what were we actually accurate with our tier maker there a little while ago when Warzone 2 came out. So all in all, I believe that we actually did pretty solid in terms of ranking this ourselves, not getting into any of the nitty gritty, some of the stats, and we ended up doing pretty good. So let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this tier maker, some of the different meta in Warzone right now. Which guns are you indeed using? I'd be very interested to be able to see. I know I really personally love using the TAC 56, the MX9 Lockman sub, of course the Fennec 45 RPK. But just let me know what you guys be using out there. I'd love to be able to see it. Anyways, thank you all so much for coming through. I appreciate you. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Just run up to my cap, don't be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.